Hey everyone, it's Nicholas Wilton at Art to Life, and today I want to talk about sharing and sharing your art. I get the challenge of encouraging people to do this in programs and courses. A lot of people would prefer not to and hold back from doing this, and of course that's fine. But I think one of the reasons we don't like to share so much, or there's a resistance to it, has to do with feeling we want to be perfect or that what we show is at a certain level, even though for most of us, our art never really is at the level we want it to be. There's always a big gap there, or certainly a gap. When I first did CVP, the Creative Visionary Program, the first time we ran it, I put together all these videos, and it wasn't something that I do a lot. Like, I'm more used to it now, standing in front of, pretending I'm talking to you. So I feel like I'm talking to you, but actually you're just a camera. But I can feel it now. But in the beginning it was hard. And I remember I created the course, and I had to create a sales pitch, kind of, like, this is the program, and this is how much it costs, and I hope you buy it, which is really a weird thing to talk about. It was something that I had to share, but I wasn't good at this. I'm an artist. I'm not a salesy person. So it was really hard, and it wasn't very good. And I used it anyway, that video, because I wanted to do the course, and a lot of people watched it. And everyone, it was fine. I felt sick about it, but it worked, and people came into the program and everything, and no one had a problem with it, even though it wasn't very good, and I really didn't want to share this. But one person, they didn't like it. One vocal person, and probably a lot of people didn't like it, but one person said so, and it was really, criticism, like, Nick, stick to teaching, don't do that because you're clearly not good at that, and don't, you're fine when you're teaching, but don't do this, and it really looks awkward, and you're not very confident, which is all true. Ferris, he held cardboard up for me, and I read all the statements, and I made that video out of like 50 starts. It was the worst. So it was really painful to hear this and to have someone notice it and say it, right? And I think this goes to the point of stay protected so you don't expose yourself to this. This is the worst, being called out on something you're not good at. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized, like, well, I'm not good at doing that. I haven't done it before, and so I'm not good. I'm really good at teaching art, but I'm not good at this. And I actually went back and forth emails and saying, like, I don't do this really well because I'm just learning. It was a real big turning point for me, because I teach people to put themselves out there, especially with sharing their art. And even if the nightmare comes true, that somebody points out that you're not as good as they think you should be, or whatever, it's kind of not the end of the world, because you're learning. And this is my point, that you do it anyway. And it's so important to share your work. And I wanted to give you a few other reasons why it's so important to do this. When you embrace the fact that you are learning, which is what I did, you're kind of bulletproof. Like, it's only people that pretend or have such an investment in being a certain way or looking like they know what they're doing. It's okay if you don't know what you're doing and you're open about it. Everyone can kind of accept that. So if you embrace this idea that art making, and anything we do, anything we're learning, you get to be a beginner. We all get to be beginners. And I'm saying this because I want especially beginners to put their work out there, to do it anyway, to share it on Facebook, put it out on Instagram, and which sort of segues into my second point, which is the reason it's important once you get over this is that you get feedback. You get a feedback loop, you get a response. And that's hard to do when you're in your studio by yourself. Now, it doesn't matter so much if 50 people like this and 5 don't, but sometimes, and this happens to me all the time, a lot of people will say something about what you're making, and it gives you another angle to look at your work. You get this bigger objectivity as a result of it. And that can be helpful. We're not making art to get favorable comments, but mostly you will, because people are interested in what you're doing, and it's admirable that you're trying to make something that hasn't been made before. So I encourage people, especially beginners, which they're the ones that have the hardest time doing it because they don't feel very confident. But if you want to speed your learning up, if you want to increase the rate of your improvement, try to find some avenue to share your work. I mean, share it with your friends. Put some of them up in your house so the Federal Express guy sees it, or your family members see it. That's where it starts. Try to realize that it's a part, I believe, of your growth, and it speeds up your progress tremendously. The idea of giving, which is my third point, giving first, sharing something. I know it feels vulnerable and personal, but it's a give. It's an offering where you're not sure what you're going to get in return, if anything, but you're doing it anyway. And it creates kind of a call and response, a reciprocity of an exchange. You give something and you kind of get something in return. It's a call and response, super helpful. And because you don't know what is going to happen, often you're surprised, and there's a curiosity and a wonder that's created in the response of whatever you're putting out. When you just give, you get surprising things come back. You never know what's going to happen. And those feelings of curiosity and wonder, they're a huge piece of art making. That's a lot of what we want to create in our art, in the viewer, in ourselves. So this fits in beautifully with how and we want to feel. It's almost like a whole approach to living, where you give first and get after. No matter what, you're not doing something for a reason. You're just putting it out there, and that generosity cultivates certain things to occur. I do these videos. I do them. I love this because I get so much back from it. I learn so much, but it's a give. I'm just making these and all kinds. My whole teaching platform is based on this approach. It began with sharing my work and then sharing, a way to approach art making and offer a course. And I mean, at each step, it was always the same feeling. I just don't even want to do this. I'm just going to post it anyway. Anyway, so those are some thoughts on why, if you're not sharing, maybe you can move towards that a little bit and create the conditions for wonder, curiosity, and speed up the progression of your art. I'd love to hear your comments about how what you posted and what was difficult for you and how you overcame it. This is how I learn, and a lot of other people learn on Sunday. So, and also for those of you who are new here, we have a free color PDF that you can download that has a lot of tips around color. So go ahead and download that. The link is right below here. Thanks a lot, and I hope you have a really, really great Sunday. Okay. Hey everyone, if you found this helpful, I have a whole lot more to teach, share, and inspire you with every single week. So please join the Art to Life YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Okay, great. Let's do this.